Welcome to Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm Josh Coan.
I'm Carter Burquest.
Today we're talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves because some rumors surfaced recently that Towns might not be happy with the organization, with Tibbs. So now everyone's floating out these trade rumors. You see people in Boston writing stories about how he could help the Celtics, and obviously the Lakers fans are all like, oh, come to LA, whatever. So we got to talk about this. I don't even know if it's a legitimate possibility. But do you think that the Wolves should trade Karl-Anthony Towns?
Number one, I just have to say this off the cuff. I am so sick of Lakers and their fans. Every superstar that is going to get traded or a free agent is like, oh, they're going to go to the Lakers every single time, and it drives me absolutely insane. Not everybody wants to go to the Lakers. The Lakers don't deserve every single superstar. Get off your high horse. Nobody wants to go there anymore. They've proven it the last few years. Okay, so we can move on from there. No, you should not even entertain this. It should not even be a question that you could trade Karl-Anthony Towns. I think it's absolutely insane. The second that you think he's unhappy, you bring him in, you bring Jimmy Butler in, you bring the whole team in and say, what's the problem? And I'll tell you the problem, it's Tibbs. And you get rid of Tibbs. NBA is a player league. It's run by the players. Every single time, unless you have a coach, like we were talking earlier, that has tons of pedigree, like a Bill Belichick or Greg Popovich or something like that. Otherwise, every single time you side with the player, it's just absolutely ridiculous. All the reports coming out of the Wolves is just, I don't know. No, you should not trade him.
I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate just for a second. Just looking at Instagram, and Karl-Anthony Towns' Insta stories are all about him on vacation. And then I also still follow Zach LaVine, and every single thing is about him working out. He's in the gym like late at night, midnight, 1, 2 a.m. He's doing work every single day. And part of me looks at that and says, does Towns really have the extra drive to be truly great? We know that he's very talented. We know that he's in the game. He wants to play hard. He works hard. We know that he wants to win. We know he wants to be great. But is there a slight, maybe a little bit, that he doesn't spend that extra over the top? You look at guys like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, that are almost sociopaths, the way they're obsessed with basketball and the way they work the game. Maybe Towns doesn't have that, but let's not get carried away. Karl-Anthony Towns is a once-in-a-generational player. There's no way I would trade him. As far as I'm concerned, he might be the most untradeable player in the NBA for any organization. You could say LeBron James, but the only reason that you could say, well, maybe trade LeBron is because you don't even know if he's going to stay in Cleveland for very long, so you question maybe you could get enough for him or something. Not that I would trade LeBron, but Towns, for how young he is, and to be as good as he is right now, and obviously growing, he is a once-in-a-generational type player, and he is absolutely somebody you build your team around. And as much as I don't like to give into players that might be a little whiny, not saying that Karl-Anthony Towns is, but not that I want to give into players who have attitude and it's all about me. He's one of those players that if he gets in a fight in the locker room, you trade the other guy. If the coach doesn't play him and he doesn't like the coach, you get rid of the coach. Hopefully he doesn't have a bad attitude about it where you're always trying to please him. But one of my favorite Michael Jordan stories from back in the day has nothing to do with him actually playing basketball. It's the Bulls had an alternate jersey, black jersey with red pinstripes. Jordan looked at him and said, those pinstripes are stupid, get rid of them. They got rid of the pinstripes and did just the plain black jerseys. Michael Jordan changed the uniforms of the Chicago Bulls. Not that Karl-Anthony Towns needs that kind of power with the Wolves organization, but pretty close. Karl-Anthony Towns means that much to the Wolves organization right now.
Yeah, I would agree with you, and I would actually agree on your first point as well in regards to Towns may not be that guy that's in the gym night and day that has that fire. I don't know. I don't want to say too much, but, to date it seems like he's not that guy. But to your point, I don't think there's many of those guys in the NBA. I think you could probably count them on one hand that have that just mentality that Michael Jordan, LeBron James, that is going to do whatever it takes to win further than you could ever imagine. I don't think there's many of them, so I don't think that you can have that as a huge knock against him. And he is just so extremely talented. There's no way in a trade could you get value with Towns. You couldn't get the value back that you would need. I could maybe see 3-4 years down the line if he's going to leave and you don't have him in control for the next 5 years, then maybe you look at a trade and maybe you can see value because you're just going to lose him. But at this point, where you have control of him for another 5-6 years, there's no way you could get any value close back to what you would need. And it's just unbelievably irresponsible of Glenn Taylor to not have Thibodeau out already. And the longer this goes on, people are going to start leaving Timberwolves fans. You're going to start seeing season tickets drop. You're going to see people more and more angry. And I just think, as much money as you owe him, you got to just bite the bullet and get him out of here because it's just going to go downhill from here. You can see it happening. We've seen it happen through the course of this year, and it just is slowly getting worse and worse. But to go back to your point, no, you don't trade Karl-Anthony Towns. Not even like the first overall pick and pieces from the Suns get that done. No way, no way, no way.
We're very much on agreement on this. The only good that I think might maybe come out of this is maybe it gets Glenn Taylor's attention enough that he does finally either fire Tibbs or just says, finally, I'm going to sell the organization. It's not worth this headache. It's too difficult. And he sells the team to somebody that maybe is a little more competent and can actually run this organization and put the right pieces in place.
So any other human being on planet Earth.
Pretty much. All right. Want to know what you guys think? Should the Timberwolves trade Karl-Anthony Towns? Or if you think so, let us know. Otherwise, let us know why they absolutely should not. And if there's another way to kind of fix this issue the Wolves are having. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.